Hi guys, it's Dan here, and today we're going to be talking about, I don't know if you see that, there you go, The Pale Horseman by Bernard Cornwell. This is the second book in the Saxon stories series. I've already done a review of the first book and like a series overview thing, so check that out, and yeah, this is just going to be a quick one. This is, as I say, historical fiction based in the Anglo-Saxon period, chronicling the formation of the Kingdom of England, and following on from the events of the last book, which basically involved the conquest of most of what was going to become England by the Vikings, leaving only the one southern kingdom of Wessex, ruled by Uhtred the Great, remaining. We now get to see the Viking attempts to take over the last kingdom, but only after we see our main character Uhtred, who makes a welcome return, embark on a bit of piracy to raise some cash to pay off his crippling debts. So is it any good? Of course it's bloody good. It's a rollicking historical adventure that you can read in a weekend. As with the first book, the best thing about this book is the main character, Uhtred. He's the standout feature of this series, and just such an engaging character. He's a Saxon warrior that was raised by the Danes, and in this book he's maybe 20, 21. We saw his childhood and adolescence in the first book. But yeah, we meet up again with him here, and he's still just as brash and arrogant and impetuous and proud as he was in the first book. Yeah, he's got a real problem with his temper, and this continually undermines him throughout the first half of this book. You know, because of these characteristics, he's easily manipulated by more savvy characters, and as you do at that age, he completely ignores any good advice that he gets. But he really does some growing up in this book, so that's nice to see. And that starts with a really well placed character moment in the middle of the book, where he is given a dressing down by a prostitute for being untrustworthy, and he comes to the stark realization that there's more to a man's reputation than just being good with a sword. His central character conflict, so the tension between the Saxon and the Danish sides of his upbringing, continues to be mined by Cornwell, providing some really nice will he won't he moments where he's got a clear choice between supporting one side or the other. And we also get to see some of the first examples of the classic Uhtred cunning plans that are such a great feature of the rest of the series. Cornwell also starts to develop some of the secondary characters in this novel more than he did in the first one, although it's completely focused on Uhtred. But yeah, we see a bit more of Ragnar the Younger, which is good. He's always a good character to come across. And Uhtred the Great especially becomes far more humanised in this book, especially when we see him at a really low ebb sort of halfway through. Now, in terms of the weaknesses, there's not too many, and they're basically the same as the first book. You know, the lack of depth and diversity in the rest of the secondary characters. But as I say, this is supposed to be completely focused on Uhtred, so you know that's just something that comes with this style of writing in some ways. Yeah, so as with the first one, The Last Kingdom, if you are interested in the Anglo-Saxon period, you'll like this. If you're interested in the Viking Age, the English Viking Age, then you'll enjoy this. Or if you just want like a classic, well-plotted adventure through history, then yeah, this book is for you. But you know, start at the beginning. Actually, having said that, you don't really need to start at the beginning with this series. I actually read like the fourth book first, and then jumped around a bit because it was just whichever ones my local library had, and that worked just fine. So yeah, pick up any of the books in this series. That the quality is pretty consistent, so I'd recommend any of them. Yeah, so like I say, just a quick one there. Second book in the series. Check out the review of the first one, and bye, I suppose.